Um, okay, so you've mentioned obviously the side activity, in being, a day-to-day man. But as you mentioned, being a rock star, although blue collar, as you mentioned it, I'm
Mm,
sure you had some really great like rock star stories as well. Do you have this sort of memories?
oh yes, I've got. Let's see. Podcast appropriate memories. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Let me think about some big moments. It is so I had one recently. So let me say. So when I started in music,
Yeah.
let's say eighth eighth. So the end of my eighth grade year, going into high school. I come from a background. Like I said, I was a metalhead. Uh, and it started with sort of, I'd say the progression from middle school went Rage Against the Machine, and then Corn,
Okay.
and then System of a Down, Slipknot. And then I
Okay.
was in Slipknot. That's back in the day when it was like hot top. I was wearing Jinkos, like ball and chain necklace. I was wearing a gas mask to school, and like, dude, I was a freak on a leash. Okay. And
Nice
then
reference.
thank you. And then I was actually hanging out with one of my friends I played Warhammer with, and his big brother drove us back from school to his house, and he played it's a band called Undying. Okay. That's a metalcore band from where I'm from.
Yeah.
They have an album called This Day All Gods Die. And it is like the first time I heard screaming, like double bass, like
Yeah.
hardcore metalcore, and it blew my mind. So I went to their show, and I'm in my lock and chain necklace, my Jinkos, all that stuff. Everybody else is in like tight jeans, black hoodies, bandanas over their face, that era of metalcore. So I stuck it out like a sore thumb. I got to see Undying. I could not stay for the last band, so I'm like waiting out on the loading dock for my mom to pick me up. And the vocalist of Undying came out and talked to me for like 20 minutes until my mom picked me up, uh, just to see if I had a good time, because he could tell like he had never seen me before. I was there by myself. And I remember I was like, I want to be part of the music scene. Like, this is what I want to do. And like, I'm going to figure it out. So literally on the last tour, that band had a reunion show in outside of LA when I was in LA, and
Wow.
I went and saw them, and I finally told the dude the story and everything. It's just like so funny, because like I'm like freaking out, and like I'm in the front row of this venue, and like they're a North Carolina band from 20 years ago playing in California. And like there were fans, but like I was freaking out, like screaming every word, and people were like looking at me. And I told him the story and everything, and he's like, cool, I have to check you guys out. And like, my band has like 100 times as many. Like, it's just a lot more people have heard of Alesana. And it's just so funny. And so, but the point of the matter uh is that I remember that interaction so specifically. And so when I meet people, and especially, if I met someone and they say, your music saved my life, I try not to become jaded about that. And I try to remember that genuine experience I had when I was 14, and this larger than life guy I met, because I didn't understand. I think when you're a kid and you think about music, you think about like old arena, like you'll never actually meet these dudes. And
Yes.
like in the local music scene, you could like walk up, and those interactions are so important that you're having with your fans, because that is who you will be in their mind for all time. And trying to take that moment to take the extra, 30 seconds to listen, to let the people know that, it's important how we've impacted them. And it goes like such a long way. So that's my big, it's like, it's people's reaction. Like you said, like Alesana has a very specific fan base,
Yeah.
and it is very nerdy and very dark academia, and
Yes.
it's like very
Yes.
broody, and the emotions are very strong. And it's one of those things that like I try to be acutely aware of, because when you've got these emo goth kids, like I can't throw you into a tailspin, bro. Like you're
Yeah.
you're my people, and like I
Yeah.
love it. Like especially when I meet like you know, one of our fans that has like a shit ton of face piercing and colored contacts, and I'm like, that's my guy. And
Yes.
like, I know that every motherfucker you meet looks at you like you are out of your mind, and like you're here because you feel comfortable and this is you, and that's fucking awesome. Cause I used to wear gas masks to school and fuck those kids. Like that's how I feel about it. So I look at, you know, I've got a dad haircut now, but like that's me on the inside. So I would say that's my weird version of the answer to your question
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I try to do. I try to keep it real. I try to remember, you know, what impacted me so much about the music scene. So that's my cool rock star moment. I definitely, you know, we've got other ones like
Yeah.
yeah, but not all on our podcast appropriate. My
Yeah.
my wife is so my wife is I've known her since the beginning of the band,
Oh,
and she
okay.
has, like, literally been my roommate when I was dating somebody else,
Oh,
and, like,
wow.
we've been best friends forever. We've been, like, romantically involved for, like, 8 years now, but she knew me when I mean, I was a big time nerd in high school, you know, I wasn't exactly a hit with the ladies, and suddenly everybody's
Rock
interested.
band, yeah.
I started seeing a lot of the girls that, you know, had webcams in the room for certain
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
activities
yeah,
or
sure,
danced
sure.
in clubs and like my wife knows all of that and like she just doesn't care. Like she's like she knows so it's nice because I don't have to pretend. She's like, I don't care if you sign some girl's boobs or something. I'm like, it
Uh,
happens so few and far between now. But you know, it's good to know. So that's how it goes.
that's amazing. That's amazing.